Hi, I'm Greg Cummings, CEO of Power100 and your host here at PowerChat. We are very, very excited to have Voitek and Yarek from Okna Windows, along with James Freeman, the #1 rated CEO in the country. As many of you know, I just want to kind of, before I open it up to introductions of these folks, I just want to kind of catch the audience up on how we got here. So we have evaluated thousands of companies, over 7,600 companies. Are in our database that we evaluate on an ongoing basis and produce a list every year. Most of you already know that. And because when we evaluated James and Pj Fitzpatrick, through that evaluation process, some new things kind of came about at the beginning or end of last year, depending on how you look at it. And the Okna Windows has come up as such a value add to their organization. And when James specifically says we credit a lot of our quality and growth on the Windows side of the business to Okna, we naturally reached out to Okna and had a call with them where we ran through some basic conversation and a high-level evaluation process to identify them as a top potential partner as well for everybody that is looking for that. And so the reason that we're here is because James and his team is able to deliver on such a high quality of product consistently, not just because they're great, even though they are, but also because they're partnered with the best in the industry. And Okna, we're recognizing them as one of the best through James and through our process. So naturally, we wanted to hear from their perspective and get everybody together and have a quick conversation around it. So welcome to PowerChat, guys. With my introduction kind of complete there, Team Okna, can you introduce yourself, please, starting with Voitek, and then James, could you please follow?
Voitek Kaniewski. I'm co-partner for Okna Windows with my partner Yarek.
Actually, so good afternoon. My name is Yarek Ostaniewicz. I'm partial owner of Okna Windows.
And I'm James Freeman. I'm CEO of Pj Fitzpatrick, a 44-year-old exterior remodeling company.
Awesome. We are pumped to have this conversation. Let's just jump right into it. And I want to start with you, James. Let's go back to kind of the beginning because I understand the pain of choosing a new partner and specifically a new window manufacturer. The pain of changing that over is not always worth the gain of what you could potentially get because, well, let's face it, you're doing pretty good with how you are. So in order to move that needle, it's got to be kind of overwhelming. Can you talk a little bit on how you first got introduced to Okna Windows?
Yeah, and if you don't mind, I'm actually going to introduce kind of the challenge we were in leading into that conversation. I joined Pj Fitzpatrick in July of 2020, obviously right in the early days of COVID. And over a very short period of time, the supply chain for many of us was impacted in really gross ways in comparison to the very consistent performance of the past. That took good companies and relationships that had thrived for us for years and put them into bad positions. We had two suppliers that we were working with. Both struggled with the supply chain, one far more than the other. And that forced us to make a change. And we made a change to another provider in the industry, and commitments were made and statements and promises of levels of quality and service were made, and they didn't come into fruition. And it put us in a position where we needed to almost in some cases scramble to make sure that we positioned ourselves well. So, really since I've been here, we've been focused on making sure that we had the right partnerships, both manufacturing as well as the way that we represent ourselves in the public on behalf of them, to be best in class. And we look at windows and doors as a third flagship in our business. Roofing has been the lifeblood of our business for 44 years. Our bath products are growing. They're actually our #1 products now, but we also believe that windows and doors had an opportunity to complement our bath products that were 12 months a year, products that we potentially would be recession proof in a sense that they were products that when people need them, they need them. So we were constantly asking questions of others, visiting other dealers that we do business with to learn more about what they offer and who they work with. And we were up in Boston in September of 2022 visiting New Pro Homes, Nick Cogliani, their president. We were walking through their warehouse, longtime friend of our business, and mutually, and we saw a window. And we're like, wow, that's a nice looking window. And he was like, that's Okna, and they're right down in your backyard, in Bristol, PA. And a little less than a month later, he facilitated an introduction to some of Yarek and Voitek's management team that are representing them, and we got off into a conversation of what could be. And really, less than 6 months later, we launched them as our luxury product that we offer in our business. And it's difficult in those moments because we make a lot of mutual commitments, commitments to volume, commitments to deliveries, commitments to quality, and how we're going to handle the challenging moments. And I'm really lucky to be standing here, 18 months, 12 to 18 months from where we were in a really bad position to where we feel we're in a very strong position, and in a position that we can really put our foot on the gas and continue to grow because we have the right partnership with Okna. They said, we're going to provide you high quality product. They said that we're going to do it in as fast as any provider that you have out there. And we made commitments back to them that we were going to sell certain volumes and provide a certain level of installation experience to match their product quality. And it's just been you don't always get a chance where mutual commitments actually are met, and not only met, they're exceeded, and you end up happier than what you could have imagined yourself being. And we're lucky enough to be in that position with Okna. And I credit a lot of the growth and the energy that we have around our window business specifically, to the way that their product and the commitments they make to its quality make our customers feel, and in turn make our salespeople feel. That energy is irreplaceable, and it's really it's a flywheel now that we've started to get in motion, and we're going to really take it from there.
Yeah, it's, you mentioned it on the window, specifically on the window and door side of the business, but that rolls so much into the whole organization because you have referrals, you have add-ons, you have company culture, which is one of the most impressive things in your organization. And so it's a much bigger role than just the windows and doors, right? I'm curious, just a follow-up question that I kind of have on that, James, is, how much did their location, Okna's location, play into helping you make the decision to use them for Pj Fitzpatrick?
For us, we've gone from being in the greater Philadelphia area, for lack of a better way, to being in 6 states in the District of Columbia over the past 3 years. And, the people in the greater Philadelphia area know that we will give back to the community as much as we will potentially take in terms of servicing customers and bringing revenue into our business. And we want to have that same type of feel in every market we go to. So in terms of initial decision, it didn't impact it. Because we needed to find the right partner that had the right product mix and the right commitment to quality and excellent service that matched what we had at Pj Fitzpatrick. But when I got to have an opportunity to see their facility and meet Yarek and meet Voitek, and then it's complemented with, hey, this is our backyard. We're not traveling all over the world to find the best window supplier. We're doing it in our hometown. And to think that our growth together puts more people in our hometown to work and creates opportunities for families and others to grow in our industry, and to do it here where, it's we plant our flags for home. That is just made it even sweeter and makes me want to continue to grow with them, because we're not only doing good for the customers across all these areas that we're servicing, but we're taking care of our hometown along the way.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.